guys, and welcome back to Triple Threat. This is a series on my channel where we cover 3 trending topics of the week to gauge what is going on in the culture. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and if you have any topic ideas or any thoughts on any of this, just leave it down in the comments below. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Before we get into this, I do just want to give a little disclaimer, because this is sort of the theme of the video, right? Ladies, I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible. Stop hoeing yourself out on the internet. Stop hoeing yourself out in general, okay? You don't need to sexualize yourself or sleep around for attention, for success, for validation, for fame, for empowerment, for happiness. Sleeping around and sexualizing yourself is not going to make you any of those things. Best thing you can do for yourself is to reserve that part of you only for those who really deserve it. If you want respect in the world, hoeing yourself out is not the way to attain it. And I promise you that it is not empowering. And if you believe that it is, I hate to tell you this, but modern feminism has sold you that lie. With that being said, let's get into the first story of today. So if you don't know what's going on, Eliza Bleu is a social media personality and advocate for human trafficking and sex trafficking survivors. She worked with Elon Musk to help improve Twitter by removing some of this child exploitation content and materials from the platform, and has been sort of a name that has been floating around in the right-wing space. But it has been exposed that Miss Eliza is truly on one right now. She has been exposed for getting a lot of content creators on Twitter and YouTube banned for using an image that she claims was non-consensual, but was actually just a still from a music video that she shot with world star hip hop. Again, she claims that the video was non-consensual or the photo was non-consensual. Either way, I'm pretty sure she consented to being in a world star hip hop video, but I do just want to say I have seen her pop up on my timeline on Twitter quite a bit, and I will be honest, I kind of got bad vibes right away. What I want to react to first here is a video of her on Michael Malice's podcast talking about how she was trafficked. So here we go.
I was trafficked on Twitter as well. So there's been 3 profiles to my knowledge that my former abusers made to traffic me on Twitter. I didn't realize because I kind of just signed up for Twitter in late 2019. So it was like one of the last few days of 2019, I signed up for Twitter.
But what does that mean that they trafficked you on Twitter? How can someone traffic you if they're not in contact with you?
Yeah, so the way that was working, I didn't know about the profiles existing because I wasn't on Twitter and I wasn't looking for them. The way that my former abusers were doing it is that it was going back to my Instagram. The Twitter accounts were linking back to my Instagram, and they were trafficking me off Instagram, Backpage, sugar daddy websites. I mean, whatever type of internet trafficking is what was happening. I'll go into more detail. So it looks like a profile in my particular case.
I just want to say right away, she's kind of talking in circles. None of this really makes any sense, and she's not really answering the question. She's using a lot of just big words and over-explanatory language to describe something that's quite simple and kind of deflect from the truth in what she is saying. Does that make sense?
The profiles look like profiles that would be me, but trying to entice business to sell me, bringing it back to my Instagram where they were doing business. Fortunately, in my particular case, there are no nude images or videos of me on Twitter. Thank God, right now. The day is young, I guess. But it would go back to my Instagram, and that's how they would traffic me, sell me without my full consent and without my knowledge. When I joined Twitter, an ex-boyfriend actually pointed out the first profile. After I reported it to Twitter, it took them 3.5 months.
I just want to reiterate, this is Eliza Bleu on Michael Malice's podcast explaining how she was human trafficked.
Months to take it down. The second profile took 5 days. They actually took it while I was on my way to do they took it down while I was on my way to do my interview with Tim Cast. And then the third profile, the platform has refused to take down.
Okay, so I don't understand. So someone creates a fake profile of you. There's photographs of you. How are they monetizing this? How is Twitter getting a cut? Like what's literally happening?
Yes. So Twitter cut off all of our Twitters based off advertising sales and data sales.
This just watch this. It's a very poor attempt at justifying this.
Sales and data sales. So any profile that's on Twitter, they get a cut of it. So they can say to Pepsi, Coca-Cola, whomever they're doing business with, we have this many active users on our platform. So in essence,
which is facts. Like, you know, all these social media companies make a ton of money off of us selling our data, and that is not okay. But that, to me, that's a different issue. You know what I mean?
Yes, you and I are definitely making them money. When it's a free platform, we are the product.
But how are these people who are using your images making money themselves?
So, right, it would depend. So my trafficking situation is going to be a little bit different than what we're going to talk about with the children. So in my particular case, they're impersonation profiles that would have led back to them selling me to do business. So they would lure somebody in with the profile, like, oh, this is a pretty girl, blah, blah, blah. Because I mean, it's been a while that I've had the opportunity to be free. So it's not like it's still happening.
Sure, right.
But they would lure somebody in, direct the business back to, I'm assuming, either a dating profile or, you know, kind of like when you see folks saying, oh, click this for my nudes or whatever, they would send them back to my Instagram or other profiles, platforms, I guess, who knows? Because I can't see inside the DMs. So I don't know what's going inside on the DMs on the back end.
Like, what is she really saying here, though? I mean, using words like, I can't really see what's going on in the back end, like, to describe something that's really simple. You know what I mean? Like, we're just talking about Twitter and Instagram. To me, it's a lot of, like, talking in circles, which usually indicates that you're trying to not necessarily hide something, but, you know, manipulate your statement.
But I have been able, with an organization, to sort of track some of the use of these profiles and some of the communication back with other profiles, and it's really scary. So it would be someone that they would contact to do some type of business and then take it somewhere else. Now, what does scare me about those profiles still being active is that my abusers are still free. So they could be using my image to contact survivors that are already more vulnerable, of course, for trafficking or abuse. They could be using those profiles to traffic other women. That's the truth. They didn't stop. So when they lost me, they didn't stop.
So this is a kind of identity theft kind of situation, but instead of getting a credit card in your name, they're basically saying, I'm you. I'm also known as this. Come talk to me. Or in the alternative, instead of being some kind of vague positive thing, like I'm going to be your friend, it's that you want to see sexy pictures of me, come join this site. And you're basically being an unpaid spokeswoman for whatever nefarious organization or person this is.
I found there was a website. Actually, maybe I shouldn't talk about it. I'll probably leave that out. But yeah, there's a lot of things that go on. And now more than ever, I am terrified because survivors are already vulnerable because they've already been trafficked, that they are using my name and likeness to contact our most vulnerable.
So again, I just, what is she really saying here? I mean, from what I understand, this was her explaining how she was human trafficked. So if I am wrong about that, feel free to correct me. But from what I understand of this clip that I have seen several times now, this is her explaining how she was trafficked, which, you know, that's a very, very, very different definition of trafficking than most people have in their minds, and very different from what she portrayed, honestly. So she's gotten like several accounts banned on Twitter for using this still from the World Star hip hop video. That is very suspicious to me from what I have seen of her fame chasing behavior. I am getting the vibe that the story she has been selling has been extremely exaggerated for her own benefit. She might just be a little bit delusional and have an idea in her mind of what it means to be human trafficked that is like entirely different from other people. But to me, this literally just comes back down to when you put yourself in compromising positions like that, especially sexually and especially as a female, you are literally putting yourself in a position to get taken advantage of. Should anybody ever be sexually assaulted? No. Obviously, in a perfect world, nobody deserves that. Doesn't matter what they wear, doesn't matter how they look, none of that should matter. But to be honest, it does. You know, I have lived in horrible neighborhoods, and because of that, I would dress my hat on, mask up, coat on. I carried a weapon. Like, I made myself look as unfriendly as possible because I was going to do whatever it took to be as unapproachable as possible. So that's my general thoughts on that. We will have to see what happens as the story unfolds. Moving into our next story. This is obviously going to seem a little left field for my channel. I know I usually talk about things that are a little bit more political. I do think that this video that we're about to react to really ties into my point in this episode. Let's take a look.
Look how long and lengthened my lashes look.
This literally just changed my life. This looks like false. This is how? What?
Girl, how will mascara change your life? People are starving in these streets.
It's this L'Oreal telescopic lift. Look at the wand. Okay, so basically I'm taking the curved side and
Okay, so I want you to pay attention here to her eyelashes.
I'm going root to tip and I'm starting to coat the lashes. And then once you've done that, you flip the brush to the side and you use the hook comb to basically separate. This is one coat. Okay, I'm gonna add a second. Look at the length. Do you see that? I am speechless. And I'm not sure anyone's gonna ever be able to compete with this mascara.
If you don't already know, this is a huge deal on TikTok. They're calling it Lashgate. Miss Mikayla Nogueria is in a huge controversy because she is using deceptive marketing tactics to sell this mascara. If you're not into the beauty world, I love beauty, I love makeup, so let me fill you in. You see my eyelashes? These are eyelash extensions, okay? These aren't my real eyelashes. So she starts the beginning of the video with no mascara on, then she puts one coat of mascara on, cut, and when she comes back, she has a false eyelash on, and she does not disclose this. The entire internet called her out because it's so blaringly obvious. It has even inspired Miss Jeffree Star to return to TikTok to review products, which, interesting. Here's my take on this from a cultural, political standpoint. People are way too obsessed with this makeup and beauty industry. And what that ties back to is, again, my ladies, you don't need makeup to feel beautiful. I love makeup. I think it's fun. If you want to use it to enhance your already natural beauty, that is totally fine. If it's a creative outlet for you, that's great. But you should never be doing any of this because you feel you need to. Mikayla has been extremely open on the internet that she has a lot of body dysmorphia. She just has a lot of insecurities when it comes to her looks, and her entire job is about her looks. This just goes to show when you're insecure about things, you will go to great lengths to try to cover them up. Mikayla is also known for filtering all of her videos while at the same time selling makeup to consumers, and that's literally false advertising. As females, we are constantly being told that we need to purchase all these products. We're spending tons of money just trying to keep up with feeling good about ourselves and how we appear. But the truth is, being confident, successful, loyal, reserved, these are the things that are going to attract a good man in your life. I am just so tired of seeing girls be lied to in this way and feel this pressure of needing to keep up with the latest beauty trends to feel beautiful, because none of that is true. You know, the makeup industry is a multi-billion-dollar business, and I just think this goes to show how obsessed we are with this stuff, and in reality, how it is just so not important. Confidence is key, and focusing on making yourself the best person you can be is really the most important part of your femininity. With all of the controversies that Mikayla has gotten herself into, I really do believe it comes down to her insecurities. Instead of trying to find that inner confidence, it's constantly covered up with filters, with makeup, with kind of lies, to be honest. I think Mikayla is a beautiful looking girl. I think she's awesome. She's clearly hardworking and successful. You know, I honestly feel bad for her that she feels that she needs to go to these lengths to be considered beautiful. I know that this is probably going to bring in some unlikely viewers to my channel, but this is a conservative channel here. I hear a lot of negative self-talk on Mikayla's part about her weight and things of that nature. And I know she has spoken about suffering with an eating disorder, so I do take that into account, and I do totally get that. But if you really feel that horrible about yourself, then go to the gym or change your eating habits. If you're really worried about your weight, which I know she is, because as women, we all feel like that, you know, you have to consider things like that. I would encourage girls who feel bad about things like their weight to put in the work to feel better about them. Okay.
feral, like feral. There's mirrors everywhere, so it's like you can easily catch people in the act. Oh, this is nothing. Okay, we're gonna move on to the 35s now. I want you to watch very carefully. Just watch. This is the 5 as 5 pounds. And these are the weights. Excuse me? You don't have to do that. It's okay. No, it's okay. I got it. Thank you, though.
First off, I want to say that Matt Walsh suggested like gendered gyms. And can I just say how much I would love that? I would absolutely love to go to a female only gym. Not even because I get hit on like incessantly or something when I go to the gym, but because, can we be real for a second? Dudes are just so territorial in the gym. I literally dread going over to the weight section because all of the men are just like, whoo, my weight. My machine, mine, meh, meh. They see you coming as a girl and you're like threatening their territory, and it's like, I dread it every time. So I have to say that is a genius idea, and I vote that we implement that. How does this tie into the theme of the video? Let me tell you. Ladies, stop sexualizing yourselves. If you don't want to be sexualized, then why are you walking into a gym wearing shorts where half your ass is sticking out, a literal bra, and like, I just don't get it. If you choose to sexualize yourself and put out that energy, I mean, you can only expect then to receive it from the male species. We have to stop denying reality like this. It's so simple. If you don't want to be bothered at the gym, well, just cover up a little bit more. I just don't understand it. If you don't want the attention on you, then why are you putting attention on yourself? Also, it is kind of a narcissistic perspective to just assume that because someone looking in your general direction that they're sexualizing you in their mind. The bottom line is try covering up a little bit more and seeing, am I attracting this male energy that I am claiming I do not want? Ladies, you can't have it both ways. We can't go gallivanting around in skimpy clothing, sleeping around for empowerment, and then get upset when that sexual energy is received. It can't be both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Of course, there's always going to be times in your life where dudes are just creeps. They are too much. They are too aggressive. Of course, that is life. It is not fair. It is what it is. Welcome to reality. But if you don't want this kind of energy in your life, then stop giving it out. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning into this week's episode of Triple Threat. I also have another video series coming out this week called Pretty Politics, where I do my makeup and talk about political or cultural subjects. I hope to see you there. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you have any topic ideas, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.